I just tried to start this video and everything in the world turned on, I guess. Anyway, today is Friday, October 24th. It is 5 p.m. and I come to give you all of the updates of everything that has happened over the last few weeks since I've vlogged last. I'm currently uploading a vlog from when the detectives came, which I believe was September 10th or somewhere around then. And again, it is currently October 24th. And I haven't vlogged since, and a lot of things have happened since then. I'm going to update you here on everything that has happened, and then this video will be uploaded on November 2nd because the video explaining the detectives is going to get uploaded on the 26th. So this video will be uploaded on the November 2nd, and then November 9th is when I will be uploading this week's vlog, which I might record immediately after this one. So if you see me looking exactly like this 2 weeks in a row, that's why. It kind of gives me a little bit of buffer, but it also, I just mostly I don't want to make it a super long video. You guys don't seem to like my super long videos, so I figure I may as well just put them separately because it helps me in a lot of different ways. It helps you guys watch the video all the way through, and additionally, it helps me have a little bit of a buffer. So anyway, the detectives came and all of that, and that entire week in the vlog that would have seen by this point on the 26th. So if you want to hear about the detectives, go watch that video. I was supposed to make a list of everything that's happened because I did already record this video once, and just like last time, just like in this video on the 26th, I tried to record it and then my recording app just threw it all away, which is why I'm recording on my phone right now, and I plan to just delete this once I'm done with it. I did a lot of things on that list that I mentioned that I wanted to get done before school started, and I managed to get a lot of my commissions done. I didn't get all of them done, but I did get a lot of my commissions done, so that was good. I didn't really do anything with my vlogs. I completely ignored vlogging. I'm in the process of redoing my Patreon. I decided that I wanted to organize it a little bit better, and my current Patreon, I've had that Patreon, the one that I currently use, since 2020. I've had it since 2020. I've been posting since 2020, and I just feel like it's so disorganized, and there's so much stuff in that Patreon that just isn't lore accurate anymore to any of my stories that I'm working on. Like, yes, it's cool to see it change over time, but I feel like it would be really confusing for newcomers to come and see all of those old posts and see characters that look kind of like current characters. Like, for example, Drusana. She originally, Aleodoro, I think. Originally she was Soleil, and she looked slightly different back then. So it could come off as two different characters. And same story, the story is completely different, and there's very little differentiation, and then there's edits that I had tried to make, and they just don't make sense. So I want to redo my Patreon and repost everything onto a new account and just completely revamp my tiers, revamp my everything, and I am doing that. I'm in the process of doing it. This is the link. It's not currently, right now, as of recording this video on Friday, October 24th, it is not currently up. However, maybe it'll be up by the time I post this video, so maybe go check it out. Because I'm going to be editing this video long before, I think, November 2nd, so definitely go look and see. So I have it set up I'm going to have a free tier, and it's going to be early access art when I remember to do it, when I won't always remember, and sometimes I complete something and then immediately post it. So, I would have to immediately post it for whatever reason. So early access to art when I remember it, early access to plans, like things that I'm planning to do, seeing how I'm going to rework certain things, or if I'm planning a video or planning a certain event, like that's what I mean by early access to plans. You'll have access to my blog posts. You will have access to discount codes for digital purchases like zines and brushes, but not commissions, just digital purchases of things. And then Discord access. And I think I'm going to revamp my Discord too. The $5 tier I'm going to have concept art for all of my projects, storyboards for all of my projects, life updates, which is going to be different from blog posts, and then also Procreate brushes. Like, I'm going to post my Procreate brushes that I make for free because you're paying the $5 a month, you know, so I'm going to try to also make more Procreate brushes so that you have, you know, access to more of them. The $10 tier would be early access to vlogs. So for example, this would get posted there, but you know, it's not up yet, but this would get posted there probably when I finish editing it. That's probably how I will be doing these early access to vlogs, is I will post it when I finish editing it, and then you will have however much time between the vlog itself being finished to when it's uploaded. You'll have, because I usually schedule my videos. I don't usually immediately upload my videos. You will have early access to my art videos, same concept. They will get posted as I edit them. You'll have access to my poetry and other writing, no context spoilers, 25% off commissions, and then you will also have access to all of my zines. You'll be able to have, like, just be able to download them. And then the $15 tier, you will have access to all of my old comics. You will have access to, so I'm gonna start drawing Not Safe for Work again. But I'm not gonna post it on Patreon, because if you post that kind of stuff on Patreon itself, they restrict your account and they take down, like, you're not allowed to post certain things on Patreon with Not Safe for Work content on it. So my plan is that I'm going to make a separate account, like a Twitter, for example, and make it private and post the account on this thing, you know, have the account posted in the Not Safe for Work, like in a post, you know, so that they'll know to go and follow that account or request to follow that account. And then I will go and message them and be like, hey, is this you? And then verify that they're not only 18 plus, but also that they're actually a patron of mine. And then if I will write all of that down, and then if they go and unsubscribe from my Patreon, I'll remove them as a follower. There will be special chats in the Discord server. You'll have access to deleted scenes from any of my comics, and then access to all of my old art and my old art archives. And I think for Ko-fi, because I do want to have like Ko-fi tiers, and I think that's where I'm going to post my commissions and my like commission speed paints. So those are my Patreon plans. I already have names and stuff for it that I really like, but I'm not going to say them here simply because they're not in front of me. But so that was that. And another thing that happened, so for context, as a lot of you know, I volunteer support group. A support group for incest survivors. It's a support group for incest survivors, and I run a few support groups under that organization. I run 3. I run one on Wednesdays, Sundays, and Tuesdays, and I'm the moderator / chair of those meetings is basically what I mean. So we read the script and all of that stuff, and people get to share about their own trauma stuff. And it's really nice. I love what I do there. But it has been in talks that I'm going to get elected into the committee, specifically the outreach committee, which I'm very excited for. I am hoping to be elected for the chair of the outreach committee, the chair of the social media subcommittee, which is under the outreach committee, and then I want to join the Connecting Survivors subcommittee, which is under the Group Concerns committee. And I have already joined the literature committee. I'm very excited to be the chair of these things. I believe that this meeting for me to be elected is happening on November 2nd, if I'm not mistaken. I've already been sent the invite link. I've already been added to the list, and I'm very excited for that. I've been in talks with some of the higher ups about it, and they're all just about as excited as I am. They did show some concern that I was taking on too much, but I was like, it's volunteer work. If I find myself to be having trouble with anything, I will, 1, say something, and 2, I can just take a little step back if nothing else, like I can just take a little break if I need to. And I let that be known. I was like, I won't just sit there and suffer. Here, let me actually read the email that I sent to the person that I had spoken with. I said, hi, I hope I didn't come off as though I was rushing you for a response. I just wasn't sure if you'd got my email. Thank you for getting back to me, though. I appreciate it. This person had actually given me similar advice the other day when we were on the phone together, so I'll tell you the same thing I told her. I'm very vocal when it comes to my energy and my well-being. I feel like if something is too much or if I'm becoming overwhelmed, I will definitely let it be known. I won't suffer in silence about it. There will be times when I won't be able to get as much work done, such as during finals or days where my chronic health issues are flaring up, but I should be able to do pretty regular work for the committees and subcommittees I'm requesting to be a part of around those things. I do recognize it's quite a lot to take on, but I'm pretty confident in my ability in being able to manage all of what I've requested. I'm eager to help more at this organization. Hosting meetings has given me this sense of purpose and fulfillment I lost when I became disabled and had to stop working 6 years ago, and I really enjoy the feeling and I want to help out more. I read through the training document earlier and I think it sounds pretty straightforward and I'm excited for the future. So just to reiterate formally, I'm requesting to be elected for the chair of the Outreach Committee, the chair of the Social Media Subcommittee under the Outreach Committee, and I'm looking to join the Connecting Survivors Subcommittee under the Group Concerns Committee. But anyway, so with that aside, because that's about all of the updates for that, I'm not going to know more until after this meeting. Very likely I'm not going to know more until after this meeting where I'm getting elected. I haven't heard back from that person since I emailed them. So that was on October 16th, which is about 8 days ago, and I haven't heard back from them. And I also emailed the detectives. I sent over most of my evidence on September 30th, and then I sent the remaining things on October 2nd. And both times I asked them for some kind of update and I didn't get any. So I emailed my detective independently on October 17th, which is about a month after they came here. They came here on the 22nd. As of right now, it's been a month. It's been over a month at this point since I've seen them. And it's been since September 30th since I've heard anything from them. So it's almost been a month since I've heard anything from them too. So I emailed my detective on Friday, October 17th, and I said, "Good afternoon. It's a few days shy of a month since you and your partner had come by for our interview, so I wanted to reach out. I understand it's not the highest priority since I'm not in any immediate danger, but I figured it wouldn't hurt to request an update regarding my case. Have you been able to go out and speak with my parents? If you haven't, do you have plans to do that in the near future? When you do, will I be able to know what was shared by them, assuming they open the door and agree to speak to you? Also, what are the next steps for my case on my end? Do I still fall within the statute of limitations? Am I able to pursue anything legally? Thank you so much. I hope you have a great weekend. Feel free to give me a call if that would make it easier to answer my questions." And then I left my name and my phone number just as like an easy way to have my phone number again. So, still haven't heard back. I have decided that if I don't hear from her by November 1st, I'm going to start bugging them a little bit. Like, I'm going to start calling the office. I'm going to start messaging the number that she gave me. Not excessively or in a rude way. I want an answer. And if I don't hear from them by November 1st, I feel like that's plenty of time to get back to me. A couple weeks ago, my neighbor and I had officially met. She had approached because I was feeding the strays and she said that she thought it was really sweet and she really liked that I did that and she just wanted to thank me. And she said that she used to feed them all the time, but it's just so expensive between like her pets and then also the strays. And she said that she just really appreciated that somebody else was feeding them. And I was like, yeah, totally. I love it. I love feeding these cats. I love all of them. And I talked to her about wanting to capture and take in one of the strays because she seemed really old. And I've talked to you guys about her before, Bug. I told her that I was wanting to take in Bug and get her shots and how I would have by now, but I just don't know her vaccine information and how that was a priority because like I've seen her interacting with raccoons around here. And I know that there's kind of a rabies problem with a lot of the raccoons here in my city. So I was just like, I don't want to risk it. Like I do not fuck with rabies. And I was like, while I do know that it's very unlikely that she has it, but I didn't want to risk it. So her and I exchanged numbers and she was going to help me capture Bug. Well, about a week later, she texts me and she says, "Hey, is it okay if we talk?" And I was like, well, I'm not feeling too good this morning, but I am waiting for delivery. When I come outside to get it, we can talk then. And I was like, it can't be for too long, but, you know, we can talk a little bit. And she comes to my door and she tells me that she's having an issue, that she was having to go and live with some family because of said family emergency, and that she couldn't take the cats. Well, she said that she could, but she said that they don't really want the cats there, but they're just wanting to accommodate to her because, you know, they love her, they're her family. And so she said that she just thinks that it would be best to rehome them because between that and then she also has a reactive dog And she said that she just didn't think that having them locked up in the same room for hours and hours and hours with nobody attending them was a good idea. She said that she felt like it was just waiting for a disaster. And especially because both of her cats are elderly and disabled. So she asked me to adopt them. And I initially said that while I am leaning towards yes, like I am immediately like, yes, I would like to, I still wanted to think about it. I wanted to like mull it over, consider everything. And she's like, no, yeah, totally. Like, you don't have to tell me yes right now. You don't have to say anything right now. And she's like, if you don't want to or can't, it's totally fine. And I went over to her apartment, met the cats on her porch, and we talked for a few hours. And one of the cats came out there, and that went really well. And that day is when I decided that I would take them. I told her while I was on her porch that, yeah, I'll take them. And so I set up a GoFundMe, and originally the goal was $2,000. But I was able to whittle it down. I had to call my landlords first and ask what they needed for ESA paperwork, and then tell my therapist what they needed, and then she could write it because she didn't want to write it wrong. So I was able to get ESA paperwork, which knocked it down $300. I was able to take some stuff off my list that I was like, I don't actually need this all that much, which knocked down more money. I sold a couple of things, like there were just a few things like that, and I ended up getting it down to about $1,000. And I met the goal. The goal was, I was able to get the electric scooter because I didn't want to have there be some kind of vet emergency or something that I could just hop on the scooter and take them somewhere. So I thought that was pretty important to have. And luckily I was able to get everything that I needed. They have everything they could possibly need to last me until my student loans come in. Thank God. And yeah. So they got here on October 12th. I left them in the bedroom all day with the back door closed. They were freaking out so bad that day, so I didn't want to have them freaking out on the porch. On Monday, October 13th, I opened up the door for them and they loved it. They loved that porch. 14th through the 16th, I left them in the bedroom. I just kept them confined in there while they acclimated to just being here. And I would go back there and hang out with them. The 17th, I released the beasts, and that was the last day my couch was clean. Today's the 24th, so they've been free roaming the whole apartment for a week now. But yesterday, the lady who gave them to me visited, and they completely snubbed her. She asked me if she could come over and say like a goodbye, and I was like, yeah, totally, of course. And they just snubbed her. They ran inside, they hid under the bed, did not want anything to do with saying hi or goodbye or anything, and they were both freaked out for a lot of the day after that. They were very clingy after that. They were fighting with each other. They were very stressed after that, and I don't know why, because again, they've known her their whole lives. Like, Andy's 17-ish, and she knew him as a kitten, and same with Lucas. She got both of them as kittens, and they're both old men now. So that was weird, but they've been free roaming the house for about a week now, and they love it. They love my apartment. They love it here. Very warmed up to everything. They snuggle with me almost every night, every day, all the time. I'm kind of shocked none of them have come up here in this 29 minutes, but they're usually stuck out on the porch. And like right now, Andy's on here. Let me see if I can turn you around and show you. Andy's currently in the little bookshelf nook that I made. And I think Lucas is on the porch, and I don't want to go all the way out there. I'm trying to finish this up as quickly as possible. We're currently sitting at 29 minutes, and I don't know what that's going to look like after I edit out all of my pausing and all of my ums and all of my other things. But anyway, so they've been here. It's been really nice. I've been sleeping on the couch, though, since they got here. It's almost been 2 weeks now. Mostly because I don't have quarters for laundry at the moment, so I can't wash my bedding, and my bedding is really disgusting from that 5 days of them just being confined into the bedroom. And I don't have any replacement bedding right now. So I am just sleeping on the couch for now. I don't really mind though. The cats don't really seem to mind. So it's not really a bother. But that is kind of the current updates. I'm not going to get into this week because I am going to be evil and make a separate video for that. I do have a meeting right now though that I want to go to. One of the support group meetings, the incest survivor support group meeting. So I do want to go to that. Otherwise, I would probably immediately record my weekly update video. But I'm going to go. Those are all of the updates that I've had since seeing you guys last. I did at least want to update about the cats and having them. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy these little sit-down videos. I'm hoping that they will not be sit-down videos much longer. I should be getting my student loans hopefully in the next few weeks because school has started back up again. Started up this past Monday. So hopefully I get those soon so that I can get a hold of that camera. And I really, really appreciate it. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I hope you're having a great weekend or about to have a great weekend since it is Friday for me right now. And it'll actually be Sunday when you see this. So good luck tomorrow at work. I hope your weekend was good. And yeah, thank you so much again for watching. Take care.